him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon?
Oh, my God.
Country superstar Carrie Underwood has spent most of her career avoiding political talk, but she's set to perform at the upcoming inauguration. She said in a statement that she's doing it because...
Of course, that's Uncle Brother, you're absolutely right. All U.S. politicians enrich themselves while in office. They all come out immensely wealthier than they came in office. All of them, which is why it's so strange. And I think this is what was said on the CNN panel by both of the gentlemen. They were saying the problem is that Joe Biden's saying it as if his entire party and him in particular are not doing the same thing. That's the whole point. The point was not to say that, oh, all of these politicians aren't, some politicians aren't doing it, some politicians are doing it. The point wasn't to say that. The point was to say that if they're all doing it, why is Joe Biden now complaining about the very thing that he actually does and has done, not only to enrich himself, but to enrich Hunter Biden as well, and then to give him a get out of jail free card, a blanket pardon. He gave him a blanket pardon for making deals that directly benefited him. Come on now, we know how this goes. Oh, I can't go as the president, but Hunter, yeah, y'all can go through Hunter. Did anybody think that these companies that Hunter Biden was getting paid by just said, oh my God, Hunter Biden, this guy, he's let's look at his background. Let's hear his story. He seems very qualified for us to consult in these particular industries that he has no experience in. And that's directly Joe Biden. Let's keep going.
Because the country must come together in the spirit. Country superstar Carrie Underwood has spent most of her career avoiding political talk, but she's set to perform at the upcoming inauguration. She said in a statement that she's doing it because the country must come together in the spirit of unity and look to the future. And lots of her fans aren't thrilled about it, but lots of her fans are. So let's put this in perspective here. What do y'all think?
I personally hope we're moving beyond the era of politics where we want to cancel people's livelihoods because we don't like their politics. And whether it was the Dixie Chicks for criticizing George Bush, didn't agree with it then, and Carrie Underwood, if you have a problem, you register your complaint by not downloading her songs and not going to her shows.
Right.
But I also think from a business standpoint, it's not a bad decision for Carrie Underwood. 75 million people voted for Trump. Artists tend to skew left-leaning. So she's overnight going to become an icon of MAGA and the American right. She's probably going to make a lot of money off of it. So I get why she did it.
I say.
I mean, right? And it's country music. I think
I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't do it, even though I can't sing.
You would not sing?
No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really...
I need to... How do you support and normalize somebody? Hold on. Let's hear her, what she said again.
Sing?
No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon?
How do you love your country and normalize somebody that was a convicted felon? Once again, the Democrats and liberals show how out of touch they are. Do Democrats realize that they're supposed to be the party of forgiveness? That it's supposed to be the racist Republicans that want you in prison, that want you locked up. And then once you get out of prison, even if you're rehabilitated, nah, we don't want to give you any opportunities. We want to still hold you down. You're a convicted felon. You're going to have to wear that tag for the rest of your life. So does Joy realize when she says that that the very party that's supposed to give the convicted felons a second opportunity, now she's bashing people and saying, Carrie Underwood, how can you love your country by supporting this convicted felon? Isn't that what the Democrats do? How would the view have felt if when George Floyd's situation happened, well, he's a convicted felon, so. And I don't even know if George Floyd was a convicted felon. George Floyd, matter of fact, I believe he was, based on the things that I've heard, but let me actually look it up. Let's actually look it up. Was George Floyd a convicted felon? He was convicted of 8 crimes. He served 4 years in prison after accepting a plea bargain for a 2007 aggravated robbery and home invasion. So imagine if we just said, I mean, when George Floyd's situation happened, why didn't we just say, yo, he's a convicted felon? Why are we normalizing? Why are we making George Floyd a convicted felon a hero? The Democrats and liberals, this is what I mean when I say they have no foundational principles. There's nothing that they stand on. This is why you have a Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. say, we didn't change. The Democratic Party left us. We didn't leave the Democratic Party. What are your principles? I thought it was free speech. I thought it was not getting involved in wars. Now you're the war hawks. Now you're trying to push censorship. Now it just seems like you're pushing woke ideologies. That's the new culture. Everything continues to change. If you look at the Democrats and look at where they've gone over the last 30 years, over the last 20 years, look at what the Democratic Party started off. Barack Obama was against gay marriage. Look at where the Democratic Party started from the beginning of Barack Obama's presidency to where it is now. What are the foundational principles of the Democratic Party? The principles are complaining about conservatives. Conservatives may not be perfect, definitely not perfect. I don't agree with everything conservative. But from a cultural standpoint, if you ask me from a cultural standpoint, hey, how do you feel about the conservative view on the conservative culture in America compared to the woke culture in America? It's not a difficult decision for me. It's not a difficult decision for me. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little off in how I'm seeing these things. But this is just another example, in my opinion, of the Democrats and liberals having no foundational principles, not standing on anything. Their only thing that they stand on is to complain about everything the conservatives are doing and to convince the people that vote for them that those people are racist, unfair, and that you will never get ahead while those people are in power. As if you got ahead while Joe Biden's in power. As if you can afford a house right now with Joe Biden in power. As if you can afford groceries right now with Joe Biden in power. Democrats have been in power for 12 out of the last 16 years, and somehow Democrats have convinced the majority of their supporters that the people holding them back is the Republican Party. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion. I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
A lot of my
Let me hold on. My fault. I didn't catch it. My fault. I didn't see that comment. No. Cuzzo. They didn't say that about George Floyd. They didn't say that. The other side said that about George Floyd. Candace Owens said that about George Floyd. I can't even say the other side because, to be totally honest, there weren't a lot of strong voices out there. It wasn't a mainstream talking point. My point is not that the they that I'm talking about is the View. The Democrats, the ones that are calling out Trump for being a convicted felon, they weren't the ones saying that about George Floyd. They were the ones pushing him to be a hero, pushing these woke policies like defund the police in the middle of COVID when we're all supposed to be in the house and scared of this COVID thing going around. They're the ones convincing us to go out and march for George Floyd, a convicted felon. But the Democrats were not saying all these things that they say about Trump being a convicted felon, about George Floyd. I guess Trump is the only convicted felon. If that's the case, what I would recommend, this is what I would recommend. Just say Trump. Because when you say convicted felons, how many people have family members that are convicted felons? How many people have family members that are convicted felons that come from impoverished areas where there may be more crime in these impoverished areas that you're relying on to vote for you? The people that come from these areas, the people that are normally sympathetic to the convicted felons, that's supposed to be the Democratic Party. but they're not even realizing the things that they're saying about Trump. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just misleading to me. Maybe most people, maybe.
Ew, ew, it's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real